Yeah, so our D Tigress, junior D Tigress, actually, the under 19 girls, they are at the 2025 FIBA under 19 Women's World Cup in the Czech Republic. Two defeats so far, one win for us. We are playing Hungary 4 p.m. later today. Is a crucial round of 16 game. The team is coached by Juliana Akhere. We have joining us now from Lagos, a sport journalist with a lot of passion and interest in basketball. Theresa Mac-Dangosu makes her debut on ADBN Sport. Theresa, good to have you join us this morning on the show.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
Yeah. Okay, I followed your journey through this championship, your passion, the way you've supported these girls. Before we come to this, of course, under 19, share with us your thoughts on this team generally. They went to South Africa last year. I remember the way they got there. The under 18 boys also. They didn't make, in fact, it was like a couple of hours before their first game when they arrived in South Africa. Yet they were able to pick the ticket. And also preparation-wise, it appears that all didn't really go too well. What do you make of this team under Juliana Akhere and what she has been able to do so far, especially that victory over China in their first game?
So this team is what I would call a team that has resilience, and Coach Julie has done everything possible to keep this team together, because I mean she understands the kind of players that she got in. I mean most of the team, as we can see, already has almost all the players that played in the under 18 last year, and so they are already familiar with them. So she just had to blend in with the players that came from the US who didn't join them, in the under 18. So they have just, continued to show that resilience, even though the results so far has not been what we expected, especially with our game against Portugal and Canada. But there's still hope, that the girls can use the opportunities that they have in, their game that they would have today against Hungary. Hopefully, we'll be able to, have some favorable results in this game compared to the last two games.
Yeah, let's talk about that Hungary game now, 4 p.m. later today. The defeat against Canada, it was one that, of course, really shocked a lot of us. The point margin, 113 to 42 points. In fact, the social media handles of the D Tigress at a point had to tweet that with these Canadians make heaven at all, the way they are beating our team. What do you expect from these girls against Hungary today as they aim to proceed to the quarterfinals of this championship?
Well, one thing I know is that the girls will continue to fight. I mean, we've seen that resilience all through, like I mentioned, they're a team that has resilience. We've seen that resilience all through the games that they've played. But like I always say in my analysis, the energy that they bring into the game, they've not been able to, equate it to points, right? But I see like a momentum shift for us in this game. And I say that because they would have to dig deep from the energy that they had in the game against China and use that same energy to play against Hungary today. So hopefully we'll be able to, find that energy and try to, change the story, and give us back the kind of story that we had when they played against China. So I mean, one thing about me and most Nigerians, I'm sure, is that positive spirit and that mindset. And hopefully the girls, like I encourage them, would remember why they are there and focus and play in the moment. So hopefully we'll get to see that. I mean, Hungary is ranked number 7 in the world under 19, and Nigeria is number 35. So it's a huge margin, a huge difference. But then anything can happen with the game of basketball. So we'll see how that goes today. And hopefully, yes, the girls will come out, with the victory in this round of 16.
Okay, so let's talk about players now. Which of our players do you think will be the one to watch out for today? Or in your own opinion, think we make the difference? The way they did against China in that first game that perhaps might just give us the victory at the end of the day.
Well, so far the leader for Nigeria in terms of scoring is Pius Idubamo. So hopefully she would continue to do that. I mean, in the under 18, she was averaging about 18 points per game. So, and she has been doing well so far as well. And then Wando Hembam, as also the captain of the team, is somebody that we should look out for. Against Canada, she started to light up a little bit, but of course there was no time for her to continue doing that. And also Ezike Nora that we saw against in our first match against China, she just came through for Nigeria and brought that game back from us losing the whole time to winning the game. So Nora is somebody also that we need to look out for. And then of course there are people like Abigail, there are players like Chukwu and Jessica also, who come in there once in a while and try to change the momentum of the game and try to shift it towards us winning. So I hope to see those players coming in and doing what they need to do. Tewa also is a player that we should look out for. Also, if she gets in the floor on the floor, she's somebody that also tries to drive. That is her strength, and hopefully she remembers to do that. And all these players are players that I know from Nigeria, especially the home-based players that are on the team. And I know what they can do. I know that, if given the opportunity, they would do that. And that's what Coach Julie definitely also, understands. And we hope to see some of these players that I've mentioned and even more show up today against Hungary.
Yeah, now, you mentioned home base. I know that there was a women basketball competition, the MFM tournament, DK Olukoya tournament. We've had it for a number of years now. The women's league is suffering. The men's league is suffering. The MBBF can't just get their act right. Talent-wise, I've seen this team. Over the years also, we've seen our basketballers. It appears we have talent, but we can't just get the league right. We'll come to the D-Tigress shortly, the main team, because the Afro Basket Women Championship is coming up. Camp is not up. There's no list. We are the defending champions. But let's talk about the league and the future of basketball in Nigeria. For you, I mean, these girls went to South Africa last year. I can't point to any preparation really that this team had. I can't point to a league, of course, that they've played in. And I think the Canadians saw that. They really dealt with our team. We're lucky against China. Maybe we'll pray again against Hungary today and get the victory. What do you think about the future of basketball in Nigeria?
When it comes to the future of basketball, I think it has to do with what we are doing now, because basically everything that is happening now is what has been done in the past. So it is the fruits that we are reaping now. So everything that has to do with basketball future has to do with what we are doing now. I think there's so many discussions that has been going on, so many talks, so many groups, and and like we have the factions that we had before in the MBBF, but what would bring the development and the growth that we would see in basketball future in Nigeria is dependent on what we do now. So everybody, should start to act there should be more action rather than words right now. And the next election is coming very soon this year, I think sometime around November or December. So who's coming there? Who is the person that we're voting into office? Is the person a selfless person? Is the person somebody that's passionate about sports, that's knowledgeable, that understands what the sports industry, especially basketball, needs in Nigeria? How can that person leverage the opportunities that they have, the exposure that they have, the experiences that they have to bring growth to basketball? That is what we need. That is the kind of person that we would need in, as president of the MBBF coming in. I mean, the administration that we have now had some hiccups. There are so many excuses or so many reasons that were given to us about how and why things are going the way that they are going. But all of that, we should push to the past. What do we do? What is the way forward? What is the next move? And in terms of the league, honestly, nobody's happy about the situation, having sort of an abridged league every year for both the male and the female leagues. It's something that is not supposed to be compared to other African countries, in Kenya, in
even Rwanda,
Mozambique,
South Africa, yeah.
So many countries like that, they're playing their league for a longer period of time. So we hope to see something like that soon for our league.
Now let's go to the main D-Tigress. We are the defending champions, back to back to back. champions of the women Afro basket. Yeah, of course. I remember the last time they even came to Abuja with the trophy. I was at the Moshood Abiola Stadium where a mini reception was held for them. Our former coach, Otis Uli, is now with the Senegalese. They are hosting
Senegal,
yeah, and they were to go to the US recently before the US denied them visa. And then the Senegalese sport minister says, stay at home and prepare. We get some friendly matches for you. But at least they are in camp with Otis Uli, of course, as their manager. Now, the Tigress, I understand that they should have been in camp in Abuja by now. A couple of friendly games was planned for them, but there's no camp, there's no list. What do you think about this preparation or lack of preparation that the Tigress is having? And in your own opinion, do you think we might get away with it again? Because what I foresee is that we might now have maybe a week or 4 days of the girls just coming together. They will meet in Dakar and start playing. Do you think this time around we might get punished by maybe Senegal, for instance?
Well, right now the list that we have is a preliminary list.
Yeah.
We only have that list out publicly. And then when it comes to preparation, one thing I'm certain of, being a basketball player, professional basketball player as well in the past, is that players, especially when you have a championship like this coming up, the players are ready individually. But then basketball is not an individual game. It's a game that is played by a group of people together, 5 people on the court. So that connection, that synergy, because now if you look at the list that we have, there are some changes, some different players coming in. We still have like the core players that played in the last Afrobasket, but then there are some other new players. So we still need to blend in those players together. So camp is really important. And that goes back to what I said about us having a great administration, somebody that understands the business and what is at stake in the game of basketball. So if we can have, somebody that will come in and change the status quo, then that would be great. Hopefully our players will still be able to go to Ivory Coast. We are hoping that happens. But right now, the National Sports Commission, as we know, is yet to bring out the fundings for these players to travel. So hopefully something comes up, and because all of this doesn't just affect players physically in terms of them arriving Ivory Coast late, but the psychological, I played basketball, I know what it means. The psychological trauma, the stress of like traveling, and most of them are not even in Nigeria. Yeah. So, that whole stress moving around is not going to be really great for them. But hopefully, we'll be able to get everything sorted out on time for them to be in Ivory Coast and defend our champion. And hopefully we get it for the 5th time.
Yeah, well, I'm happy that you use the word hopefully a number of times. But we must do our homework, of course, and ensure that Nigeria, we have talent in basketball, that we dominate the continent. For instance, the Basketball Africa League, by now I thought we will have a Nigerian team to win it, but it's not happening yet. Hopefully we can.
Oh, well, we actually did. The River Supers have played in the BAL. They played this year.
Yeah, but we are yet to win it. I'm talking about winning it. 2 years ago, two editions ago, they finished 3rd. This year, sadly, they couldn't go beyond the quarterfinals. Thank you so much, Theresa Mac-Dangosu, for your time on the show this morning. We'll be cheering the girls on later this evening, our under-19 girls against Hungary. And hopefully, of course, our next discussion will be about our team playing in the quarterfinals of this championship.
Hopefully.